Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's Geraldine from the Paper Puffin Studio, and today I'm going to show you how to make this Christmas card using some of the designer series paper that you have in your stash, and you can use up those scraps for this one. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started. Let's begin by reviewing all of the pieces you're going to need to make this card. You'll need a piece of your base color measuring 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. You'll need 4 pieces of your base color, each measuring 2 3/8 by 1 3/4. And then a piece to stamp the sentiment on for the front, and this piece measures 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. You're going to need a piece of your coordinating cardstock color, and this piece measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then for the mat, for the sentiment on the front, this piece measures 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. You'll need 4 pieces of designer series paper, 2 of each pattern. These pieces measure 2 1/8 by 1 1/2 inches. I've also gone ahead and die cut all the pieces I'm going to use to embellish, and these were taken from the dies in the Pretty Pines Retired Stampin' Up! Set. This is a standard card, so you're going to be scoring it right down the middle at 4 1/4 inches. And that's it for the scoring part. At this point, I'm going to attach all of the designer series papers to the coordinating cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment I want on this piece, which I've turned just so that it's shaped like a diamond. And I'm going to be using from this stamp set, Embellished Ornaments, the Thinking of You at Christmas stamp. I've stamped the sentiment Thinking of You at Christmas using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I've attached all of the designer series paper to the corresponding cardstock. Before I adhere these squares or rectangles to the front of the card, I go ahead and line them up exactly where I'd like them to sit, trying to make them as even as possible around the edges and through the middle. Then I'll take one off at a time and glue it in place. It helps me to keep everything nicely positioned on the paper. I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll pick up there. I've attached the sentiment to the corresponding mat, so this is ready to get attached. But before I do that, I'm going to arrange these sprigs and berries exactly where I want them and adhere them to the front of the card. I'll use glue dots to do that. Then this piece will have dimensionals placed on the back, and I'll be positioning it on the front of the card so that each of the points of the diamond sits in between each of these spaces. And I'll carefully do that. So here we have the finished card. You can see I've attached all the sprigs, and I've put some little embellishments on the front. And you can go ahead and stamp on the inside or put some designer series paper in here if you want to decorate it more. So here's one version that I made, and here's another one using some different designer series paper. This card enables you to use up little scraps of designer series paper that go together and make use of what you have in your stash. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you next time!